Hey there, I'm Marina Orms here with Astrology for Unshakable Self-Care. And today I'm going to walk you through self-care for 12 different zodiac signs, because of course there are 12. And each one shows us a particular way of taking care of ourselves. And that is why holism and holistic healing and holistic approaches include all of the signs of the zodiac, because each one has a piece of the whole, right? Okay. So thanks for being here. I'm Marina Orms. This is the Astro Vibe for Sunday, May 28th, but it really is applicable whenever you are watching this video, because we are looking at all 12 zodiac signs. And so one of the things we're doing in this YouTube channel with the Astrology for Unshakable Self-Care is looking at how we change and evolve and grow over time as we go through the moon cycles, the moon changing signs, the moon going through its different signs that reflect the mood of the day. We are also looking at the ways that other planets go through signs and how that reflects sort of a bigger picture of what we need on a daily basis. And so with these daily self-care videos that I've been doing, and we're celebrating the anniversary on June 5th of doing 1 year of daily self-care videos. And then each day we look at the mood of the day and what are the planets telling us about how to take care of yourself that day and what's happening and what to make of it and how your life experiences fit in this bigger picture of what the planets are telling us. So we'll get a little bit more insight into that today as we look at the different zodiac signs and what each one is telling us. But remember that what we're looking at each day as we think about self-care is we're looking at number one, I'm always talking about what sign is the moon in. And the moon, the reason the moon sign is so important to us and our self-care is because the moon is about our needs. The moon in astrology speaks to our inner experience. It speaks to our feelings, our emotional experience, how we feel things, what's going on inside of us, regardless of how things might be explained in the outer world, right? So there's what's going on the level of logic and things that make sense, and then there's how we feel. And so when we can start by thinking about how we feel and how the mood of the day is coming through, what is that vibe, how is it affecting us, what do we need, that is how we can work with the moon and the moon sign to understand ourselves better, support ourselves better, and also be more caring and compassionate toward ourselves and the people around us, because they're also experiencing the mood of the day or whatever the moon sign is revealing. So as the moon goes through its signs, and I share with you in these daily videos what sign is the moon in on any given day, every given day. If you've been following me, you know that we always talk about where is the moon and what sign is the moon in. And not always on Sundays, because sometimes on Sundays I'm looking at a bigger picture, but usually on the daily videos we're looking at the moon sign. So with that moon sign, we have this peek into what is going on and how we feel. And then we can add on to that. What else is going on? How are the planets speaking to each other? How are the outer planets in signs affecting us on a bigger picture, view of things? So with the experience of the moon being in different signs, it affects all of us. We go through the today moon sign, the tomorrow moon sign throughout as we evolve through the month. The moon changes signs about every 2 to 2.5 days. So we have this ongoing evolution of the moon through the signs, revealing the needs that we have in each sign. So every month we go through all 12 moon signs, and we go through all 12 pieces of the holistic needs that contribute to our sense of well-being. So we need all 12. We do all 12, whether we like it or not. They are all there, and they all contribute to our wholeness, our happiness, our wellness, and our well-being in each in its own way. So we are looking at that today. We are also right now in the midst of a moon cycle that is particularly focused on tangible results. It's the moon cycle that began with the Taurus new moon. So we're thinking about material things. We're thinking about results. We're thinking about things of value, things that bring that feeling of material resources and abundance into our lives. And so I have a free gift for you that I will be sharing at the end of this video. So stay tuned for learn how to access that free gift, a guided meditation that is going to support you in your manifestation process, whether you're in the current Taurus moon cycle or not. It's still going to be very beneficial to you. So stay tuned to the end of this video, and I will share how to access that. So, okay, so what are the 12 zodiac signs, and what is the self-care that we need for each one? We start by remembering that the 12 signs of the zodiac can be divided into 4 elements. And so the 4 elements are earth, air, fire, and water. And each one of those speaks to a different part of ourselves and our needs. So earth refers to our bodies and the physical world and things that we need that are tangible, that nourish ourselves, that care for our bodies. So focusing on bodies and the physical world and the earth and the food we eat and the materials that show up in our lives. That's what we think about with earth. With water, we think about our feelings and our emotional side and our emotional needs and our intuition and things that we just know without having an explanation for them. That is all water. It's energy. Water is energy, is water, is emotion. So that is water. And the fire signs refer to movement and action, and I associate it with spirit. So we speak of body, mind, spirit, and emotion. So body would be earth, mind would be air, spirit is fire, and water is emotion. So the 4 elements in astrology and the 4 components or dimensions of holistic healing, of wellness, of being human, really. Okay, so fire is movement, is action, is our need to move and express and channel the way that inspiration, insight, beauty, creativity, the need to move, spirit, all these things flow through us, and we need to act, we need to do, we need to move, we need to take action. So that is fire. And the 4th one is air. And air is about mind and our mindset and our ideas and our thinking and the way that we use our minds. So mind, of course, relates to our mental well-being and mental health and everything having to do with how our minds work. So also communication with air. Okay, so starting with, so we've got 12 signs of the zodiac. We usually start with Aries because Aries is the beginning in the Western tropical zodiac. We think about Aries because Aries is springtime. Aries begins with the spring equinox, and each of the solstices, equinoxes are seasons here on Earth, which are, part of our experience of being alive. have to do with which signs, how the signs align. So if you are born right after the spring equinox, you are an Aries sun. And so we have Aries, Taurus, and Gemini between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. Okay, so anyway, so much we could talk about. Aries is a fire sign. So Aries is, and the self-care that we need with Aries. So if you are an Aries, if the moon is in Aries, if we're talking about Aries energy, the kind of self-care that we need is movement. It's action. It's our ability to move. And so exercise is good. Any kind of movement you can do is going to be a good self-care activity. Also taking risks, taking action. And Aries is the energy of the fool. So sometimes we make foolish or silly decisions when the moon is in Aries. But if we're thinking about self-care, we want to think about risk-taking that supports our truth, risk-taking that comes from a place of authenticity and our soul's needs. So sometimes risk-taking can be self-care, but just be mindful and make sure you're doing it in a way that is in alignment with who you are and giving you that sense of joy and pleasure and feeling of aliveness rather than doing something that is actually putting you in danger. So we don't want to do that. That's not self-care. Self-care, though, is and sometimes can be anything that affirms your aliveness, being alive, living, being, and moving in the world in a way that that allows you to move through your life force energy and show up in, that I am, that definitive of Aries that is spontaneous, it's direct, and it's bold. So courage, action, that is self-care for Aries. All right, and then the next one is Taurus. So Taurus is an earth sign. Self-care for Taurus looks like eating good food, taking care of your body, doing things that support your space and your physical environment. Taurus is physical, right? It's earth. It is about things and stuff and tangible. Another good kind of self-care for Taurus is anything you experience through your senses. So taking in pleasure, taking in beautiful aromas, beautiful music, beautiful flavors, things that give you pleasure and that nourish and soothe your body. So take in beauty with Taurus, connect with the earth, and let it be tangible. So that's self-care for Taurus. Again, whether you are a Taurus or if the moon is in Taurus, it's going to apply to everyone, and the ways that we take care of ourselves when we're talking about Taurus energy. Okay, so the next one is Gemini, and Gemini is an air sign. So self-care for Gemini is something that feeds your mind, something that engages your mind and allows you to connect and communicate and convey and speak and share. So Gemini energy is about networking. So think about things that take care of your mind, read a good book, something where you're learning, maybe taking a class or engaging in a conversation that's stimulating, right? They get you thinking, that feeds your curiosity, that allows you to explore and allows your mind to be active and alive. So that's going to be self-care for Gemini energy. Sometimes it might be good to write, to get things into words, or to talk to a friend. So self-care for Gemini. The next one is Cancer, and Cancer is the sign that is ruled by the moon. So we have that nurturing energy, that emotional energy, and Cancer is a water sign. So it's very much aligned with our emotional experience, with our needs, with our feelings, with things that are intangible in that sense. It's taking care of our inner child and our deeper needs. So when the moon is in Cancer, or if you are a Cancer or have a lot of Cancer energy in your chart, self-care is going to look like focusing on comfort and safety. It's the way that you would take care of your inner child or any child. It is the way that you just give yourself that nurturing that makes you feel safe and cared for and comfortable and loved. And so whether that is a nice cup of tea, a really good soothing meal, comfort food, resting on the sofa, maybe watching a good movie or taking a bath, or anything that makes you just feel nurtured and soothed and comforted. So that's self-care for Cancer energy. Anytime the moon is in Cancer, that's the kind of thing that we need and that we want to be thinking about in ways to take care of ourselves. When the moon is in Leo, and by the way, Cancer is the sign that aligns with that summer solstice. So again, here we are thinking about the seasons and maybe some of the feeling that there is on the planet during the different seasons. Leo energy is the summertime, right? It is, Leo is a fire sign. And so it is about movement, about action, about the ways that we need to express ourselves and be creative and play and have fun in the world. So Leo self-care is letting yourself have fun. It's being dramatic. It's expressing yourself, getting out some art, doing some art, singing, dancing, anything that lets you share and shine from your essence, who you are. So Leo is ruled by the sun. It's about how we shine, our shiny, radiant selves. So that is what is going to be self-care with a Leo moon, or if you're dealing with a lot of Leo energy, Leo sun, Leo in your chart. Self-care will look like that self-expression and creative expression and being able to live and be out loud without holding back, and having an audience, having people who are interested and want to hear and see and experience what it is you're putting out there. So Leo is good for performance, right? So some sort of performance, and whatever that may look like for you, because some of us are more extroverted, some are more introverted, but we all have that Leo need to play and to express ourselves, especially when the moon is in Leo. All right, and then moon in Virgo is the next one. Virgo is an earth sign, and self-care for Virgo energies, it's an interesting one because we tend to think of Virgo as very critical, maybe nitpicky, maybe kind of judgmental. So what is self-care for that Virgo part of ourselves for when the moon is in Virgo? Because it is every month for all of us. The moon goes into Virgo. So what is self-care when the moon is in Virgo? Again, it's an earth sign. So you want to think about materials, resources, the physical world, things, stuff, results, things that you're creating and putting into being. So following from that energy of the Leo self-expression, we then have that Virgo ability to say, okay, we're going to make this into something that we feel proud of, right? We're going to take that self-expression where we just want to perform and be seen and make it into something tangible. And so Virgo needs to complete, it needs to build beautiful things, it needs to perfect things and make them more beautiful. It's about maintenance and fixing things. So what needs repair, what needs improvement, what could be made better? And that Virgo energy is going to be best served when we are helping to create or build something or make it more beautiful. And so think of the feeling of satisfaction that comes with fixing something, maybe something that hasn't been working right, and you make it work right. Now it works. that is the self-care of Virgo. It's like having things at work, having things that are beautiful, having things where you've attended to the details, and then you get to see the results of that, hard work and effort that goes into it. Okay, and then the next one is Libra. Libra is an air sign. Libra loves relationships, right? It's about balance. It's about how we see ourselves through the eyes of another. So self-care for Libra means sharing. It means partnership. It means cooperation and collaboration and experiencing things and doing things together with a friend, a buddy, a partner, somebody that you enjoy being with. And we don't always have that other person and that partner. You might be single, you might be in a phase of your life where you're more experiencing things alone. So self-care when the moon is in Libra could mean calling up a friend or finding somebody to hang out with, but it also could be ways of experiencing that Libran balance, like being your own partner, right? Being your own buddy and seeing how, you can, be that person for yourself, bolster yourself up, remind yourself of what you need and how to care for yourself. So it's about that experience of talking through things. And so if you're alone, it might be journaling. But if you have a friend, a buddy, a partner, a spouse, whatever that looks like for you, you might, it might be a good time for some conversation, some shared time, some doing things together. So, it is, again, there are definitely ways that you can do that for yourself and be your own best partner. All right. And then after Libra is Scorpio. Scorpio, and by the way, Libra is the fall equinox. So that day and night balance, Libra balance. Yeah. Okay. And then Scorpio is a water sign. Scorpio goes very deep. So it is about depth, mystery, some of the more inner processes that we go through, some transformation, maybe some deeper healing, some bringing of things that have been in the shadow into the light. So self-care when the moon is in Scorpio, or if you are a Scorpio or have Scorpio energy coming up, Scorpio self-care looks like sacred, creating the sacred. So that means maybe taking some alone time to do some inner processing, to feel what you feel, to let things move inside of you and the way that they may want to move that may not be convenient with, society or the world around you, what people think you should be or how they think you should be. So Scorpio self-care means honoring. It means trusting yourself and honoring your process, what you are feeling, what you need, and creating time and space for that, to honor that. It could be with another person, but if you are sharing with another person, Scorpio self-care would ask that person be someone you feel a deep sense of trust and safety with. Because again, there's a lot of vulnerability, energy moving, it's a sacred process. So what you don't need when the moon is in Scorpio is somebody telling you to get over it. You need somebody who's going to hold space and honor your process and, not have to understand what it all means, but just say, yeah, you gotta feel what you gotta feel. So Scorpio could mean self-care, could mean being alone. It could mean sharing with somebody you deeply trust. So those things are going to be what best cares for yourself with that Scorpio energy. Moon in Scorpio, it's true for all of us. Some of us have Scorpio in our charts. So however that shows up for you and the different ways that we're invited to have that Scorpio brand of self-care. All right. And then Sagittarius is the next one. Sagittarius self-care looks like the need for adventures. It's the need to move and expand and explore and travel and have new experiences. And so that often can be like literally going on a trip, traveling, doing something, going somewhere. It also can mean exploring new ideas, expanding into beliefs, expanding into theories, philosophy, ways of thinking about things that kind of open your mind, that expand your thinking, that take you to new places. And that is the self-care of Sagittarius. So when the moon is in Sagittarius, or if you have Sagittarius in your chart showing up, that's the way that we want to take care of ourselves when that energy is highlighted, is to think about what we need in terms of where do we need to go, how do we need to move, where do we need to explore or discover or have adventures, and tell those stories. So Sagittarius is also great for telling the story of what we've been doing and how it has meaning for us, how it touches us. All right. And then what is self-care for Capricorn? So when the moon is in Capricorn, if you are a Capricorn or have Capricorn energy in your chart, Capricorn is an earth sign. And by the way, Sagittarius is a fire sign. I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but it's also about movement. So Capricorn is earth, and Capricorn is again asking us to connect with the physical world, with resources, with things, and specifically with Capricorn, with structures. So think about the way that structures hold a lot of things in our lives. They hold us, they literally hold our body up through our skeletons. That's a kind of structure. We also have structures that are less tangible, like the plans we make or the schedule we stick to. Those are also kinds of structures. Other structures are things that involve rules or categories or ways of organizing and categorizing things. So all of that is how Capricorn can express itself. So self-care, when the moon is in Capricorn, or if you have Capricorn energy, would look like attending to structures. So what does that mean? It could mean getting organized. It could mean making a plan. It could mean looking at a map and thinking about how, where you want to go or how things work. Or it could mean organizing things and visualizing them, drawing a diagram or seeing them on a spreadsheet or putting them into file folders. We used to actually put papers into literal folders and keep them in a drawer next to our desk. Now it's all on the computer. But anyway, so getting organized, putting things into categories, making rules, making structures, and that can be self-care. Think about how good it feels to get organized and to feel like, okay, I have a plan, I have a system for that. Now I don't have to think about it anymore. That is a kind of self-care. Okay, and then the next one in Capricorn is the sign that begins with the winter solstice. So the shortest day of the year, so maybe the most feeling of restriction, but also that Capricorn energy is about structures. All right, and then Aquarius is an air sign. Aquarius is the mental sign that takes us outside of old mental spaces. So it gets us outside the box, right? Self-care for Aquarius energy is the energy of thinking outside the box. It is the energy of getting inspired with insight, new ideas, new possibilities, new ways of thinking, forward thinking, future oriented thinking. So Aquarius self-care could look like inventing something, innovating, thinking about the big picture, thinking outside the box. getting ideas. So maybe writing, maybe talking to somebody and getting inspiration for how you could approach something that's getting outside of old ways of thinking. So that would be self-care for Aquarius. I often talk in these videos about clearing your mind with the Aquarius moon, so that you're making room for those insights to, they can't get to you if it's all cluttered up with old ways of thinking. So you have to kind of clear the space, and then you can get the Aquarian insights that make you just go, oh, I get it. Aha, I have the idea. I have the way forward. I know what I'm going to do. So making way for those new insights and possibilities. That is self-care for Aquarius. Okay, and then finally, the last sign of the zodiac is Pisces. Pisces is a water sign. It deals with our spiritual selves, our spiritual needs, the way that energy moves and flows. It is really about interconnectedness, transcendence, transcending boundaries, transcending categories. So it's the way that we feel, the things that, we might pick up on other people's feelings. We might be kind of a psychic sponge, but it's also that intuition that we have. So self-care for Pisces is giving yourself time to attend to your spiritual needs. For some of us, that might be a spiritual practice. It could be connecting with nature. It could be, being with animals or the natural world, or something that kind of helps us transcend our ordinary human everyday limitations and connect with a bigger picture. Might be listening to guidance. It also could be taking in some art or music, or something that just opens your heart, activates your being, activates your spirit, and cares for you on that bigger picture level. So that is Pisces, and there's all 12 signs of the zodiac, and self-care, and how we want to be thinking about our self-care with all 12. And you can see, of course, that we need them all. We can't we can't have just one. Even if you're a sun sign of one of the signs, which of course you are, it doesn't mean you don't need all of these. And so that's how, as we go through the moon signs throughout the month, we get all of them. We get to move through each one, and as we work on a manifestation process, which is what we've been talking about this moon cycle, we need to manifest by supporting the process in all of these different ways. So we need to get our feelings in alignment. We need to get our body and our physical needs in alignment and cared for. We need to get our minds thinking in the right direction. We need to get our actions and our decision making, which is fire, in the right direction, in alignment. And so all of the different pieces come together in a way that support the outcome we want to create. So we bring in the different elements, the 4 elements, and we bring them in through the moon moving through each sign and supporting the manifestation process by reminding us that, oh yeah, and you need to do this, and you need to do this. So you need to take care of your body, but you also need to think about your emotional needs, and you also need to take action. It doesn't happen if you don't do it, right? So all of these reminders are there as we go throughout each moon cycle to support the things and the qualities that we want to bring in. And my gift for you, my free gift that I'm offering as my celebration for the 1-year anniversary, which is actually on June 5th, I've been doing daily self-care videos with astrology and understanding the guidance that the planets bring us and how we can care for ourselves each day and treat ourselves in the best way possible and make choices in our life that really support our highest good and our best outcomes. So as we're thinking about manifestation, this free gift that I have for you is a guided meditation. So it goes deeper than what we're able to do here. Here in these videos, we are able to kind of get your mind thinking, right? Get you some ideas for practices and ways of thinking about things. But this guided meditation will take you a little deeper. It's going to help you and support you on that level of accessing your own inner guidance, inner wisdom, and just being an extra little piece of support that can remind you of the powerful being that you are. So this guided meditation is available for you. You just have to opt in, and it's totally free. And I will have the link included in the comments of this video, in the description of this video, so that you can access that guided meditation. And it's just the email address goes to me. I don't sell it or share it with anyone. It's just for me, and I might send you some emails. If you prefer to opt out of that, you can opt out. But that's the privacy, right, and respect that I have for you and your contact information. So don't worry about that. And go ahead and sign up and let me know how this is going for you, what you think, how these videos have impacted you, and hopefully that having that free gift, that guided meditation, will support your manifestation process. And so you can learn more about me and how to work with me at astrologyheals.com. I still have the 5-session offer for working with me in a package of private sessions that we do together over Zoom, where we can connect face to face, talk about what's coming up, what's going on in your life, and how to work with these energies. So not only is what the moon is doing, which is what I share with you in these videos, but we can look at your actual natal chart, how you're made up, what's going to be the most supportive to you, and how to make sense of, some of the things that challenge you, and how to work with those, and how to be really positive in your self-care and the ways that you approach the things that you want in your life. So you've got that free guided meditation. And then, of course, there is the option to work with me. You can check it out at astrologyheals.com. If you're not ready to commit to 5 sessions, which is the deep work that we can do together over time, and there's so much more we can do when we have more time together. But if you just want to taste, I've also got mini readings, recorded 10-minute mini reading. We can get insight into a particular question you have, or take a quick peek at your chart in terms of your soul's purpose, your year ahead. I've got some different options there. So check out the mini reading. You can see what it's like and see how it feels. And then there are more options for working in depth with me. You can always do a private session, or commit to this package of sessions and having more time to really dive deep into your chart and how it shows up in your life. So check it out, astrologyheals.com, and I will share in the comments and in the description of this video how to access that guided meditation, totally free for you. So thanks so much for being here and for subscribing to this channel and for supporting my work. I am so grateful for you, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.